Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another weapon refinery review. We have new refines for Elincia, Oscar, and the two daggers, Kagero and Saizo. Let me know what you guys think about these new refines in the comments below. Alright, so let's start things off with Elincia's Amity since it's the most basic. It retains the base effect, and when refined, Elincia gains 3 extra HP and a Swift Sparrow effect. It's very basic, but it's quite effective. Elincia is meant to be used as a player phase 1-round KO'er, and Swift Sparrow definitely helps her with that role. Not only does Swift Sparrow increases her chances to 1-round KO, but at the same time it elevates her ability to quad foes that are able to withstand her first 2 attacks. Swift Sparrow in the weapon also allows her to run powerful non-speed buffing A-slot skills such as Sturdy Impact while retaining her ability to quad. Combine that with Gale Force and Flower Formations on a Flower Ball defense team in AR, she suddenly becomes a force to be reckoned with. It may not be the most flashy refine out there, but it definitely makes Elincia a more threatening player phase unit, and it makes her A-slot more flexible. Oscar's Loyal Great Lance's base effect is the same as Slaying Lance. It accelerates special trigger by -1 count. Then the refined effect is one that is very beneficial for infantry and cavalry allies as well as Oscar himself. He grants attacking speed +3 to infantry and cavalry allies within 2 spaces during combat, and at the same time, Oscar also gains those same bonuses, and those bonuses are in a form of a combat or invisible buff. You can kind of think of his refined effect as a weaker Swift Sparrow effect that works in both phases, so that's definitely a great effect for Oscar as it increases his offensive capabilities all around. The most important part about his weapon is the ally buff. It makes Oscar a fantastic ally for player phase Cavaliers such as Abel and Kane, for example, when those two have their refined weapons equipped. Cavaliers are mainly built for Gale Forcing, and Oscar's refined weapon helps his Cavalier allies Gale Force more effectively, and it also helps him Gale Force better if everything is set up correctly. Kagero has lost her infantry effective dagger and now has a weapon with a base effect that grants her attacking speed +4 under a condition. She'll gain those bonuses as long as her attack is greater than the foe's attack, and this effect works in both phases. Then the refined effect says if Kagero initiates combat, reduces damage from the foe's first attack by 50%. This weapon is not too bad, it's actually pretty good. With this weapon, Kagero can be used in a lot of different ways in Aether Raids now. On offense, you can use her as a decent close counter advantage unit. She's highly capable of fulfilling her base effects conditions since she has a pretty good attack stat. That allows her to be able to 1-round KO her first target more easily, and because her self buff works in both phases, that's going to help her KO the rest of the foes in the enemy phase with close counter advantage. If you combine the buff and the debuff from her weapon, then she's essentially dealing 11 increased damage. It's got similar power to an attack refined Silver Dagger, but the difference is that Kagero's dart has a 50% damage reduction effect. That's going to be very important for the initial fight. There's a lot of distant counter foes in Aether Raids, so this is going to help Kagero survive that first attack to safely drop her down into close counter advantage range. Now on defense, the 50% damage reduction effect has a lot of use as well. You can give her skills like Sturdy Impact or No See Follow Up, and she's going to be able to survive a lot of engagements with Omega tanks. It may not be as threatening as the Cleaner or other offensive daggers, but you can come up with some pretty interesting unique strategies revolving around a low health Kagero involving Wings of Mercy allies. Now the star of this batch of refines goes to Saizo. Saizo's star has a powerful smoke debuff as its base effect. It debuffs the target and the foe surrounding the target by -6 attack, speed, defense, and resistance. Then the refine is kind of like bonus doubler, except that Saizo feeds off of the debuffs that are inflicted on the foe rather than the buffs that are on the unit. This basically means that Saizo is able to gain +6 in attack, speed, defense, and res in a form of a combat buff after he debuffs the foes for -6 in every stat. If you combine the debuff and the buff, then Saizo is basically gaining a total of 12 attack, 12 speed, and 12 extra bulkiness in defense and res. Those bonus totals of course can be increased furthermore with visible buffs. I'm a bit iffy on how he would perform on AR offense, but on defense he definitely has great potential, especially if he's surrounded with allies that can help him debuff foes before his first engagement. For example, units like Yoon, Gunthra, Rid, Klein with triple chills, or any other unit equipped with ploys or chills. The 2 shrines, Dark and Bright, also help Saizo a lot as well. Saizo's star is very unique and it seems like it will be a very fun weapon to use and build around for Aether Raids. So overall, this batch of refines is great. Not a single one of these are bad. However, I am pretty surprised of how basic Elincia's refine is. I thought she would have gotten something more flashy since she's a rather important character, but nonetheless, Innate Swift Sparrow is still pretty good for her. Now I'm also surprised of Oscar's refine. A lot of players thought he was going to be the next gem weapon buff bot like Titania and Seth, but I guess not. Although he did still get a support weapon, but it's a more unique one, so good for him. And then lastly, Kagero and Saizo. Both of them got unique refines and they're going to be a lot better for Aether raids now. And that's going to be it for this video. Again, let me know what you guys think about these weapon refines in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.